welcome back to my channel. I'm very excited for today's video. I am bringing you a get ready with me with all of the products that I recently shopped my stash for. I think the newest products that we used on the face today was just for the eyes, and I really wanted to focus on the shade Skin of a Killer out of the Beaute Bar Vamp palette. So I did use that today, but everything else, I did use the Kosas Blushes Life. I mean, there's like some products that I've purchased this year, but anyway, most of the products are things that I've recently pulled into my Shop My Stash rotation to get this very glowy look today. So if you're interested in how I got this look, as well as going on a wild ride, because my mind was everywhere this morning. We chatted about what feels like every topic under the sun. So if you are interested, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project painting content, palette themed content, or just chit chatting about makeup, I'd love if you'd consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. Good morning, you guys. I am here to do a get ready with me with the products that I recently shot my stash for. So kind of like a testing, not necessarily like old favorites, because I wouldn't say like everything is a favorite, but just, you know, testing older products in my collection. I do always start by doing my eye makeup, and I'm going to be using newer palettes in my collection this year, but I am still trying to finish testing. I have finished the neutrals palette, but I'm planning to do something a little bit like lighter, especially for me today. So I just want to grab for like one matte shade out of here, and then I'm going to use Skin of a Killer all over the lid, and I'm really excited about what I have planned for the eyes today. But first, the under eyes are looking a little bit rough. It was a bit of a rough night last night, but I also have been, this is what I've been doing lately to try and like help some of the shadowing by my eyes here. I do need to just get also an eczema cream, but I picked up a peach color corrector, and I went with the one from e.l.f. because I wanted something cheap just to see if this worked. And I will say, I think this shade is just a little too much, like too deep for what I want, but I'm making it work by, shoot, I just realized I also did not wet my beauty sponges, which, oopsies. But anyway, I take a little bit of this. What I like about this corrector is it's a doe foot applicator, so it's really easy to apply. And then I just take a little dot of my new concealer from Givenchy, and I just put a little bit of that on the outer corner with it, just to kind of mix those two together. I will say I don't think this Givenchy concealer is going to be a new favorite. I'll get use out of it. I'll finish it up eventually, but I don't think this is going to be something that I would repurchase. I'm going to quickly wet my sponges, and I'll be right back. Okay, so then I obviously just tap everything out, and I feel like it just lifts my eyes a little bit and helps me feel just a little bit better about my eyes, which I usually feel like just look so saggy and sad and downturned. Perfect. We're already looking like we have more life to the face. The under eyes are still looking a little baggy and questionable, but we're just gonna have to roll with it today. Okay, I did recently start using a tretinoin. I've used it twice now, and my skin, like, I feel like there's moments where I'm like, oh, my skin, I can tell is going to get better, but it kind of like, it hurts a little bit. It hurts a little bit. So I'm going to do my eyes first, and then I did already put on the Merit Great Skin Priming Moisturizer. I will likely go on with like the e.l.f. Power Grip after, but I wanted to put this on just to add even a little extra hydration to the face. Okay, for my eyes, I do need to set my lids. I am currently using my NARS Smudge Proof, which this is my second tube of the NARS Smudge Proof. I really enjoyed this eyeshadow primer, but I'm definitely interested in trying the Sigma one because everybody raves about that one. I'm also interested in the one that Kelly Gooch talked about from the Ulta Beauty collection, which I think I would try that one before the Sigma because that one is less expensive. And then I'm also interested in potentially going back to like a MAC paint pot. You guys will have to let me know what your favorite eyeshadow primer is. Yeah, my skin, and I know that like one of the like when you start using tretinoin, you can go through like a purge phase, which I know is necessary, but I'm like, some of it I'm just like, just look away. just look away. Okay, we're gonna blend this out. So I got some eye crusties. I feel like I should put something on my lips, except for maybe not my clearance, because this is not about new things. Hold on. I'm gonna grab one of my Kaja Juicy Glass lip oils. This is in Grape Glow Teeny. This is probably like my least favorite shade. It really does just show up as almost just like a clear, maybe like a cool tone clear, but I feel like I'm most close to using this one up, just because sometimes I'll just focus on using this like when I'm not doing anything. It'd be nice to finish up one of my Kaja, if I said Kosas I meant Kaja, one of my Kaja products, lip oils, before the end of the year. I don't know if that'll happen. All right, I'm gonna jump into the Neutrals palette from Cosmic Beauty, and I'm just jumping into the shade Chic to set my lids here. I would love to know if you guys have if you celebrate Christmas, or just like if you decorate for the holidays, even if you don't celebrate Christmas, if you decorate for the holidays, have you decorated? Oh, whoa. Okay, I got my brush back. I threw it halfway across the room. As I was saying, oh, I feel like now we have a little too much there. Have you decorated already? I'm thinking about decorating this weekend. Thanksgiving is late this year. And honestly, I'm not like, okay, these are the only like holiday decorations I currently have. I'm not like the biggest, like I don't have a ton of decorations. I also don't have like a ton of space. I will say I feel like I used to be much more into decorating, and now I just mostly don't have the space, and I'm just not as into that as before. But there is something about like having your tree out and just having a few decorations sprinkled here and there that just feels really cozy to me, especially as it's getting dark by like 5 o'clock and I just feel so tired and like sad because it's dark. Ugh, hate it. But I'm thinking about decorating this weekend, and I would love to know if you guys have decorated yet. I'm like, do I want to like first tap out Skin of a Killer? I don't think so. I don't think that's what I want to do. I really would like to like hold my horses and really not go super heavy with the matte shadows today. So we're gonna see if we can keep it together. We're gonna see if I can do that. I'm gonna jump into the shade Bear here. And I'm just gonna put this into the crease just to add like a little bit of dimension. And actually that's a little bit warmer than I kind of wanted. So maybe I'll put, that being said, I guess I decided to layer it a little bit. Okay. I think I'm gonna go in with a fluffier brush just to kind of buff that out even more. And then maybe we can just use that to really kind of like add a little bit of warmth to the lids where like all the like setting shade is. Do I need to zoom you guys in a little bit? Okay, mostly I feel like that just kind of helped to buff out the lid setting shade so it's not like this dark cream shadow. So doing the same to the other eye. Oh my gosh, yesterday night after work I have an upcoming series I'm started, and I'm literally so excited for it. But I was filming a look with the Natasha Nona Yucca palette and just getting so frustrated with my eye shape, and I'm noticing it here too. I feel like this eye just looks so much smaller because this like lid gets covered up, and sometimes because I think like where the lid hits like my brow bone, whatever you want to call it, I don't know, I never majored in anatomy, but sometimes I feel like this eye just looks so much more closed, and I have just been struggling with that lately and getting so frustrated. So if you guys feel like you struggle with like a similar situation, how do you combat that? It literally makes me so mad at times. Okay, I'm gonna take a bit of the shade Touch here. And again, I'm gonna try and not be too heavy-handed, but I'm hoping this will be a little bit less warm than Bear. This will work. And I'm not gonna bring it like totally onto my lid there. Tapping the majority of that powder off, because again, I really just want this for a little bit of dimension, but nothing heavy or crazy. I do go to work today. The last 2 days that I've worked this week, I feel like I've had like heavier eye makeup. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I just want to be that girl that just has like a matte shadow in the crease. But then I'm like, oh, but it's so fun to like wake up and just play with makeup, play with eyeshadow. And it just doesn't feel as fun when it's just one matte shadow in the crease, even though I think it's really pretty. Okay, I'm just gonna stop right here before I get carried away, and I am gonna take my NYX glitter glue, and I am gonna take that across the entire lid, and I will carry my glitter glue up just a little bit because I like to carry my sparkle up past just my lid. Like, I like to bring it up so that you can see it up here. Again, words, anatomy, I don't know that stuff. Okay, then I'm going to go into Skin of a Killer, which is this shadow, and I want it to be more ethereal. I don't want it to be like bam, just like super heavy pigment. So I'm going to try and I'm gonna try and lightly put my finger in there, then maybe I'll tap a little bit out onto my hand. I'm just worried that it's gonna, yeah, it's just such a sparkly shade. I'm like, I don't know how to make it so ethereal. I also feel like my matte shadow was, I should have gone with something a little bit more cool toned. Perhaps I should have reached into like Natasha Denona I Need a Nude. Okay, that Skin of a Killer shade though is so pretty. It is so pretty. It almost has like a bit of like a blue, I'm thinking of like a snow globe sort of situation. I don't know why it makes me think that. I'm like, did I put glitter glue down on this side? Okay, again, just trying to like not firmly tap so that we get like a sprinkling, a dusting, and etherealness to this. I just wish that I had gone with something more cool tone for like that matte shade. I am gonna take, I think what I'm gonna do is I am gonna grab my Natasha Denona I Need a Nude, and I'm gonna take a bit of the shade Silhouette on a liner brush, and I'm just gonna see if I can smudge that on just like the outer little bit of the lash line here, just to add maybe just a little something more. Do we think I could dig into something a little bit more cool toned here? Like, do we think I can dig into Mesh? Do we think that'll help like make a difference and cool it down a little bit? Then I'm gonna just all of a sudden end up with really heavy eyeshadow again. I can feel it. Okay, maybe that is cooling it down just a little bit. Back to the shade Silhouette. Again, putting that just on the little outer part of my lid here, or outer like lash line. Okay, I have a clean brush here, so nothing on it. What am I even doing? Did that add anything at all? Did it? Okay, I'm gonna see if I can bring the sparkly up just a little bit further onto the lid. Oh yeah, I like bringing that up farther. Okay, very, very sparkly. What can I do? Like, I want something a little bit, I want something that's like taupey. Oh, where do I have like a taupey shimmer shade? Oh, I kind of do in Natasha Denona. Ooh, okay. I wonder if I should use Delilah out of the I Need a Nude, or should I use Ella? Let's see. Okay, we have Ella here, Delilah here. I think I'm gonna go with Delilah. But how do I want to apply this? I think I am gonna use a brush. I feel like I have not applied a shimmer shadow with a brush in a long time, so we're gonna take Delilah here, and I'm just going to like tap that out onto the outer half of the lid like that, kind of sloppily. Okay, I do feel like that's really pretty, and Delilah has a bit of kind of like a lid topper ethereal like shimmer to it that I feel like has like, I feel like there's like some silver shimmer in there, so it's kind of tying into Skin of a Killer. Okay, I do like that actually a lot. I think that's really pretty. I'm gonna go back into Skin of a Killer, just like go like that, lightly tap, and just bring that across to make sure that those two are like kind of seamlessly blended together. Okay, I feel like that's really fun. I feel like we're looking just a little bit sloppy with our matte, so I'm going to take just a little bit more of Mesh and Fair, kind of mix those two together on a really fluffy brush, and I'm just going to kind of try and blend out on the brow bone there. Okay, it's definitely not this like ethereal fairy vibe. Like, it's not like what Hope Mess Tom is able to do. They just kill it with their like ethereal sparkliness. We didn't achieve that today, but I'm still happy with the look. I'm gonna quickly wash off my hands and then we're gonna get into the rest of the face. Okay, I'm zooming you guys out slightly as well. So for my primer, as I said, I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Power Grip. This is the niacinamide one. I actually purchased this April of this year, and I am almost done with this. For a gripping primer, I really like the e.l.f. primers, and I'm someone who really likes a gripping primer. Like, I can get my hydration for the most part from my skincare. I will say I do like a nice hydrating primer from time to time, but usually I'm actually like, gripping is like the #1 thing I personally am really looking for in a primer. And it's nice that the e.l.f. ones are just $10. And so honestly, as I work my way through my primer collection, my camera's gonna turn off on me. Like, this is a staple that I will keep. As you can tell, I'm almost done with this. This will be an empty. It was literally sputtering out. I feel like I have just a couple more uses with this one. And then I do have the e.l.f. Jelly Pop, but I will always have an e.l.f. gripping primer of some kind in my collection. And primer is something that I wear every time I do my makeup. I enjoy primer. I like to use a primer, but I feel like that is an area in my collection that I can really pare down, and it makes me happy that a product that I purchased this year is going to be an empty. There are several products I purchased this year that will be an empty, but as someone with a larger makeup collection, that doesn't always happen. And sometimes I feel like I get products and then it's months before I even use them, really. So it just makes me so happy to have an empty of something that I purchased this year. Okay, for concealer, I'm gonna go in with the Bare Minerals Bare Pro 16-Hour Wear Concealer. I pulled this back out for my Shop My Stash because I'd used this a few times when they first sent this over to me and didn't think I liked it, but wanted to be certain. And I will say I've been using this the last couple of days, and I actually think I do really like this concealer. It's definitely different than what I typically go for, and it's not going to be something that is, it won't be like my favorite go-to primer, but it is a very matte primer, and I feel like it gives a really good kind of just blank canvas underneath the eyes. I don't feel like it like accentuates or settles into my creases any more than, you know, other concealers. The shade that I have on specifically is 150 Fair Cool. It could be that I maybe was using the lighter shade and not liking the lighter, like it may have been like too light, so then it was like almost accentuated too much. But I'm also someone who likes to do concealer first, so like this honestly would probably still be too light if I didn't do my concealer first. I was getting carried away because I was talking. I way over applied concealer. I usually do not put this much concealer on, so now I'm like, okay, I feel like we're looking really crazy, and this might not be the best example for why I like this concealer, because we have way too much on. That's okay. That is okay. Honestly, a little extra concealer down on the cheeks where it's like really red and inflamed right now might not be the worst thing ever. Okay, I'm not sure if I pulled this one out during my Shop My Stash or if this was already sitting on my desk, but this is the Very Valentino foundation, another product that I actually purchased April of this year, and I am so close to being done with this, so I want to use this one. I'm hoping that I can empty this one out before the end of the year. I have mine in the shade MR2. I really like this foundation. I think it is beautiful. However, I think that the Girl On Healthy Glow has just a little bit better wear time and looks about the same on the skin when I like the finish isn't exactly the same. I honestly like the finish of the Healthy Glow even just a little bit more. I really like that this one is nice and thin, doesn't look too heavy on the skin in my opinion. But I just feel like I get a little bit better wear time out of the Guerlain one. And so I don't think I'm going to purchase the Valentino one again. I know I said I would, and it's honestly one of those products that I do really like. And so at this moment, I would say like I'd rather purchase the Guerlain. But if this snuck its way back into my collection at some point, I wouldn't be surprised. The only other thing I have against this foundation, and it's kind of why I've focused heavily on this one this year, is it had a very short shelf life. Again, I purchased it in April and it expired October of this year. It does have a bit of SPF in it, so like that could be why it has a shorter expiration, although I feel like many SPF products have a longer expiration. So I don't know if it's just that it truly has a shorter shelf life, or they just have like a bunch. I know a lot of people had said like theirs expired like before a year of owning it, as in like the expiration date, not necessarily like the product itself started breaking them out, smelling or going like truly off, but definitely something to note, especially when you're paying that kind of a price. I don't know, as I was saying but didn't complete my thought, I don't know if it truly just has a really short shelf life, or if they had like a bunch of stock lying around and didn't like launch this early, like as early as they were anticipating, or I don't know, because I believe this launched, if not this year, last year. I could be very wrong on that, but I feel like that's what I remember. I do just think it has such a beautiful finish personally. I absolutely love it. It's like one of those foundations that has really good coverage to it, but in my opinion doesn't completely take away from the life of your face. Like it still has a pretty glowy finish. Okay, I've been feeling a little self-conscious lately about my face, and so I do kind of want to contour a bit today. So I'm gonna go in with the Give Beauty Pick It Up bronzer contour, and this is in the shade Toastin', and I'm just gonna add a little bit of that like contour shade to the cheeks. I already have a pan in the bronzer. Would love to also hit a pan in the contour. Would love to finish off like both the contour and powder next year. I think that would be really cool. Can't remember, I think I got this product last year, but it does make me really excited. Again, not like a super old product in my collection that has like a good pan going. It's taking me, first of all, I'm never the best at getting through my comments, but I'm trying to be better, even though sometimes it's a couple days later that I'm getting to comments. And then I haven't figured out a good system for like, if I comment and then you comment back, like I have not figured out a good system for that. I know I'm the worst YouTuber literally ever, but yesterday I was getting back into the comments of the video that I talked about not wanting to pan as much this year, which so many of you commented. Everyone was so kind. Many of the comments are actually quite long, and it honestly just means a lot to me that like you would take the time to type out not only just like a comment, but like a long thoughtful comment. But one of the comments I was reading was talking about, it just sparked this like realization in me. I can't even remember specifically what the comment said, but it basically alluded to the fact that when this person who commented, I cannot remember who commented this, so if it was you, brilliant. But it was talking about how when they stopped project panning, they actually stopped like consuming as much, which is such an interesting idea, because I feel like the whole premise around project panning is to use what you already have, use the products in your collection, etc. And it really got me thinking, because I was like, okay, first of all, I love project panning, or I have in the past, and it's been a huge, like it's been the main pillar of my channel personally. By the way, I am going in with the Makeup by Mario powder for underneath my eyes. I've been a really big fan so far of the loose powder. And then I'm going to take the Covergirl all over my face. I should have done that thing where I said I would list all the products in the comments below, although I was planning to not do as much talking and make this mostly about the Shop My Stash products, but inevitably I can never stop talking. Covergirl all over the face, so if I didn't just say. But it really got me thinking, okay, so project panning has been obviously like the main pillar of my channel. I love to project pan, or I have in the past, but I feel like it's really taken the creativity and the fun out of makeup for me. And once I pivoted away from focusing as heavily on panning eyeshadow and started to do no pan left behind, it made me see my palette collection in an entirely different light. I have so much fun with eyeshadow, and I love eyeshadow. I love testing and trying, so I get that. I probably purchase more eyeshadow now than I used to, but that is because I am also just having so much fun with testing indie eyeshadow, and I've definitely become an indie eyeshadow girly. I'm gonna spray a little bit of, I'm gonna go with the Benefit Professional Super Set. This is my favorite setting spray. But it got me thinking. I project pan, and I've definitely done my makeup rehab, so I've really tried to somewhat control my makeup consumption, but I'm definitely still that girl that, you know, the Sephora VIB sale comes around and I do like a huge haul, because ultimately I'm a makeup lover at heart. But I was thinking, once I pause on project panning and just like organically use my makeup collection, I'm wondering, and I feel like this might be the case, if I will feel just excited about my makeup collection again, and it won't feel like a chore. It won't feel like I'm having to use like hyper focus on these products to finish them off, and maybe I'll feel more creatively inspired by my makeup collection because it feels more fun to do makeup, and I won't necessarily seek out purchasing and purchasing and purchasing, maybe because I'm feeling like I'm bored with my makeup collection because I'm only focused on, you know, 10 to 20 items. I really feel like that might happen. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and maybe I'm gonna go buck wild next year and buy all of the makeup, but I really feel like that could be the case, because I also feel like this year, yes, I've been project panning, but there are so many things that I'm like unofficially panning, and not like purposefully, but like I just get excited to reach for them over and over again. Like the Kosas blushes I've been so into, and just like organically reaching for my Kosas blushes. My e.l.f. Power Grip, I've been organically reaching for this because I love this primer, and it's almost an empty. Whereas if this was in a project, it almost may feel, even though it is my favorite primer, it almost may feel less authentic because I'm reaching for it because it's in a project, not because it's just a favorite primer of mine. So I am so excited to just organically use my makeup collection and just see how it affects my spending. Like I'm just curious. It's for science, you know. For bronzer today, I'm going to do a mixture of the Gucci No. 1 and the Nabla Ambra bronzer. So I'm going to start out by using my Gucci No. 1, and then I will just top it off with Nabla Ambra just to add a little bit. I would love to finish Nabla Ambra. That has been a favorite bronzer forever, but I feel like I got burnt out by Nabla Ambra because I was trying to pan it, and that is literally the never-ending bronzer. Like, it just really does not end. I feel like I'm taking you guys in a million directions this morning. This is what happened. This is my brain. This is my brain. But yesterday I posted, hopefully yesterday, I'm literally filming this and hoping to edit and post tomorrow. I want to post every single day in November, but I didn't announce it because I prepped for shit. I did not prep well. And so I don't have anything like, I don't have anything prepped after what's going up today, which is my 4 Looks 4 palettes. So I think this will go up tomorrow, but then I don't have a video for Friday. So I don't know. And I don't want to just like force content either. But most days in November I will be filming. But I just posted that 4 Looks 4 palettes, and there's also a giveaway in that. There's a 13K giveaway, so if you haven't gone over and entered the giveaway, please do. Yeah, it's just a small way that I can give back to you guys, so thank you for all of your support. But I would also love to know what palettes you want to see next in a 4 Looks 4 palettes, because that was such a fun video to film. I know someone had requested a full dedicated review. I know some of you requested the Miss Taven palette by Alter Ego. I am planning, if I don't do a 4 Looks, if I don't include that in a 4 Looks 4 palette video, I do have this other video concept that I'm starting another series for. I will likely include it in that series, so I do plan to do looks with that, but I would love to know. I am waiting till payday so I can be a responsible adult to purchase the Polar Express palette from Nomad, but I'm definitely planning to pick that up. That looks so beautiful. And while I haven't always been the biggest fan of Nomad shadows, I still love their theming. And I will say the Chicago Speakeasy, overall I've been happy with, you know, the 2 times I've used that. I feel like a part of me, like, we really are going in every direction today. I feel like a part of me wants lip filler, but then at the same time, like, I don't have like really small lips. So I'm like, do I even want to mess with that? Because then I don't want to get to the point where like I'm having to dissolve filler and things like that. It's also expensive. Like, I have other things that I should be spending my money on, you know? Okay, for the rest of the cheeks, I am going to do a super glowy blush situation. So I'm going to try and tone it back just a little bit with the highlight. We're going to go in with the Makeup by Mario Soft Glow highlighter. This is in the shade Pearl. And I like to do, if I remember, I like to do my highlighter first just because I feel like it helps to kind of mesh the entire cheek together. That is like something I've kind of changed up in my makeup application this year, and I do really like that, because otherwise, like, I'll do my blush, then I'll do my highlight, then I feel like I have to dip back into my blush brush to kind of like blend everything together. My blush situation today, we are going to do the Kosas Blush is Life in the shade Euphoria. You guys, I am such a big fan of this Kosas blush. I feel like Kosas products are either like hit or miss for me, and I was not a huge fan of the bronzer. Like, I just do not feel like their bronzer was good, so I was a little bit nervous about their blush. I purchased a full size earlier this year, and it's definitely one of the like lighter neutral blushes. I want to say I picked up the shade Dreamland. And I was like, okay, this is really pretty. I liked that it's a baked product and it does offer a bit of a sheeny glow to the cheeks. But again, I picked up one that didn't have a lot of pigment to it. So I liked it. And it was one of those products that I was like, I like this, but then I kept reaching for it. So I was like, do I like this more than I thought even? And then they had the cute little trio for the holidays, which was $30 for 3 minis. So ultimately like $10 for a mini, which this mini is gonna last forever. Not only because I have a large blush collection, but baked products I feel like take longer to get through. And like, if I had the option to just purchase mini blushes and mini highlights, I would always purchase the mini, just because like it truly takes so long to get through these products. So I thought that that was like a great value, like one of the best like holiday sets. And so I was really excited to pick that one up. And I love all 3 of the blush shades. Like, it's not just like I like 1, not just like I like 2. Like, I really do like all 3. And I feel like there's really good variety amongst the 3. I don't know why I keep adding more and more blush. We gotta cool it, girlfriend. Okay, then I want to go in. It's been so long since I've reached for the Rare Beauty powder blush in the shade Cheer, but one of my coworkers, I was just asking her like, oh, like, what are you picking up during this Sephora VIB sale? And she was so excited to show me her haul, and she was like, have you heard of the Rare Beauty powder blushes? And I was like, yes, as a matter of fact I have. And she's like, I love the shade Cheer, and she had it on the other day and it looked so pretty on her. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of Cheer like right here, just for like a little bit of extra glow. Did I tap that all off? Did I? I like Cheer, but I feel like it's definitely more of like a blush topper, at least for me, just to add like a bit of a glow. I don't necessarily like it on its own. I feel like it looks almost a little metallic on its own. And even now I'm like, yeah, oh yeah. And a little metallic on the cheeks now, but oh well. That's okay. Okay, I'm gonna do my brows really quick, just using my Danessa Myricks Groundworks palette. I did just recently pick up the Groundworks 2, but I'm just trying to get through Groundworks 1. And actually, the other day I was thinking to myself, okay, I haven't been using, should I try and use a powder today in the brows instead of the pomade portion? Should I try that? I just dipped into the powder. Let's see how this goes. So I'm not going to dip into the sculpted powder because that's a little bit lighter, but it's the sculpted pomade that I usually reach for. I'm actually going to reach into Harvest for the powder. And I feel like this might be a little bit lighter than I usually like to go, but it definitely has a bit of warmth and red to it, which obviously my hair is I don't know if you can really tell right now, but it is like more of a warm red shade. Like I said, we'll see how I feel once I like get to work and see myself in the bathroom light. Maybe I'll be absolutely horrified, but we're gonna roll with the powder today and see if I like that, because that just, you know, that just means I have even more brow product to use. I don't know where I thought I heard, oh wow, that's really red. Okay, well, we're rolling with it. I don't know that I love that at all. Maybe it looks extra red in the camera, because I swear, whatever. I am going to go over it with a clear brow gel and the Glossier dark brown, so hopefully it'll help. Maybe it's not as bad as I think. Okay, ABH clear brow gel. I have just like the miniest of minis, and I think like a little bit is still coming out, but I'm like, maybe I'll try to take the stopper out of this, but like, when is a good time to call this? I do still, like, I see the product in my brows. It just feels like I have to dip in so many times. I actually do have another, I don't know if it's a full size or a deluxe size. I have another of the ABH brow gel. I love the ABH brow gel. It is like very strong hold, but it kind of gives me exactly what I personally want in a brow gel. I feel like I look like, I do not like the shade of that. Like, I feel like I look like I have like bright hot red brows, like almost like do leprechauns have like bright red eyebrows? I feel like it looks like I glued leprechaun eyebrows on. So maybe it's gonna be a no to that brow powder. I also feel like, what happened to my brow on this side? Okay, I'm gonna stop touching it. Oh my gosh. Okay, I swear it does not look as bright red in person as on camera. We're just gonna roll with that, even if it's a lie I'm telling myself. It's protecting me, that lie. Also, dang, the cheeks are extra glowy today. Okay, I'm gonna take a bit of the Ilia eyeliner. This is in the shade Dusk. It's just a dark brown. Taking that in the lower lash. I feel like a matte white would be really pretty for the inner corner today. So I'm just gonna dip into the Strange and Unusual for the matte white in Barbara. And I'm just like really gonna try and focus. I'm not gonna try and do anything like super crazy. Like, I'm not gonna like swoop it up. Like, I'm really just trying to focus that just on the inner corner. And I do think that that works perfectly for this look. And I don't like to do nothing on the lower lash. Where's my lower lash line? Just because I personally am always like, I feel like it just looks kind of weird if I don't. So I'm going to take a little bit of Mesh and Fair mixed together on the lower lash line, just so it's nothing too crazy. Even if it's like almost undetectable, but it's just like a little bit of something. Perfect. Then I'm just gonna do my lashes and we will have a final look. All right, you guys, mascara's on, and this is the completed look. I will actually say I just layered like 2 layers of this purple on, and it definitely is giving kind of like that cool tone vibe, which may have not been my vibe last year, but I do kind of like that. Kind of like the same, but not quite the same as you would get out of like a black lip oil, but definitely more of that deeper like cool tonedness. I like what that's doing for the lips right now. And overall, I do really enjoy this look. I think the only thing that is scaring me is the brows. So we'll see how those look in, you know, the ugly bathroom lights. But I'm really happy with this look. Definitely a little bit lighter than what I typically normally go for, but that Skin of the Killer shade is just so sparkly and so beautiful. But that is going to wrap up and conclude today's video. Get ready with me with my Shop My Stash products. I'd love to know what you reached for when you got ready today. What products have you pulled out for your Shop My Stash rotation? What are you trying to get use out of before the end of the year? Let a girl know in the comments below. Other than that, thank you so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting me and my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.